Hello everyone, welcome to Camera Fizzer. This is Reza and this is our daily sports show. We talk about all kinds of sports here. Let's start with Premier League. Man United against Palace. Man United playing away. Palace almost never losing in their home. They had the record there. Um, but United played super bad, insanely bad. Didn't make much changes from the game from Everton when they were horrible. But nonetheless, Palace had more chances, was going to and defenses and creating chances. One Euro defended when the goal was empty, like good tackle, but he also kind of slipped, in my opinion, gave the penalty, and Mateta scored. They said that touches it touches both his foot because like when he shoots it shouldn't. Before they were like saying that there is no penalty anymore, go continue the game, no goal, but now they changed it, so they will repeat that. And he scored, he changed the side he want to shoot and scored again. And 1-0 down, United really didn't have much to say. But Palace played on Thursday. They were super tired to play on Sunday at noon. Um, Thursday night, not much difference hours. They were quite tired, very, very tired. So their players started to fade. I mean, if you give them a blanket, I'm pretty sure they would just sleep on that pitch. Like they were so tired. You could see in their face they just want the game to finish. And United scored two goals, two assists from Bruno, both on the set pieces. One for Zexi, not a very actually good pass, but he controlled it well, went on the closed, very closed angle, and he shot it and scored. The other one, he passed it to the side to Mount, and Mount shoot it from long, and they scored both goals. And yeah, but Palace was just very tired. That's it. And they just kept the game like that. I didn't like the game, especially how Amorim is behaving against young players. He's quite critical, but against players who should be actually criticized, he's quite yeah. They're doing good, their best. I think it's because he just want the team leaders in a way um, on his side and not lose them, and that's kind of a that's I think in the long term that's hurt him. And I didn't like Maino was quite disappointed. He came in at 90 minutes or something. You could see in his eyes he wanted to shout that he deserves better. On the other side, Euro was quite sad when doing a mistake, while um, Casemiro, Dalo, Bruno can do all the mistakes, and they're like happy because they know there will be no punishment, no issues. But Euro mistakes against City, he was out a few games. Here, what kind of club is this, and what kind of manager to be more cruel to the younger players? No wonder some people are just gonna get out, and they do better outside of here. I understand, like Hoyland, Garnacho. I totally may not want to go out. I understand now. And if I had a respect for Amorim, like this level, it went down, like really after this game. And I'm not Amorim out or anything. I don't think about this stuff because it's not really in my hand to do any changes. But I'm not happy with this team. Aston Villa against Wolves, they won 1-0. 1-0 was enough for them to get to the fourth place. Um, Wolves has only 2 points. They changed the manager, nothing is still changed. They're still sitting at 20th at the bottom. Brighton won 2-0 against Forest. Forest not losing 3 games in a row. They're getting good results. Um, totally. And also in Europe, they're doing better, and in Premier League too, but they lost this game. And Brighton went to the fifth place. Same happened with West Ham, 3 games not losing, and they did lose at home against Liverpool. Liverpool, Isaac scored in that goal, and Gakpo in the last minute. Isaac scored at 60 minutes, something like this, 59, 60. No Salah, he didn't start Salah, he didn't play Salah. Mm, Maybe it's the game, maybe it's how you should go. Like everyone is saying that Salah is out and he's not himself and he is not the quality. He doesn't have the quality that he should. And with the result that they're getting, it seems tough decision should be made. And maybe it's the last parts of road for Salah here. Maybe the last um, companionship for Liverpool's and Salah. Um, I understand but the club should move on, especially the club that even now that they are sitting at eighth, there are a lot of criticism on them. Draw and losses are not an option. Even if you have a legend like Salah, you have to move on from everyone. It happens, and you reach to this point some way, or someday. Yeah. Um, Isaac scored. And he had a good chance. I think Wirtz and Isaac will come to it. They get to the form. I said it from the start, and Liverpool will get to the good point. But they weren't good last night. Winning against West Ham in that case, it was a very last minute goal. Don't let 2-0 fools you. And the first half was like West Ham didn't create much or anything, but no, Liverpool is not good yet. Not good at all, but they have the same point as United. And we are not good at all either. And 7 and 8 for these two. West Ham sits at 17, a little bit above relegation. So Paqueta got a red card at 84. Super weird red card because he got a yellow card and he went back to the referee and complained, and again and again and again he got a red card. Some people say it's a gambling situation, betting situation. I don't know. But it was quite weird and it was quite irresponsible. And yeah, if I was a manager, I would have a word with him. And they were 1-0 down when this happened. So yeah, no. Arsenal against Chelsea, the biggest game of the night, 1-1. Also another red card for Caicedo at 38. The game started quite physical, continued quite physical. The first half was just that, a lot of fouls and cards, and not actually very interesting. It was only one or two good chances, semi-good chances. It was a boring game. Beside that, if I want to be honest, Caicedo got a red card, and Chelsea became 10 men. The second half started a little bit better, more opportunities, more things, but Chelsea scored first on a corner. Funny set piece. And funny, I forgot, Man United scored the same set piece goals as Arsenal. So yeah, we're becoming that too. Scored, and later on at, I think it was 59, yeah. Merino scored, Chalova scored for Chelsea, Marino scored for Arsenal. Chelsea going to, it ended in 1-1. Chelsea going to third after City, and Arsenal stays on the top, but only 5 points from City. Is it enough? Definitely not. They're City, and yeah. The whole point of the game was that I was quite disappointed with Arsenal. A lot of people were saying Arsenal is the best club in the world, and I was kind of believing it after their great games against great teams, different teams, and they were quite absolutely smashing everyone. And I remember one of the Chelsea players said, I don't remember who, that they're so good because they never played against Chelsea. And I think it's true. Chelsea with 10 men still, in my eyes, they were better. They weren't like dominating, but they were better. Like Arsenal, after they scored their first goal and made it 1-1, they didn't show that much motivation to score another. Of course, it was at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea won, but and till the last minute, and maybe last 5-7 minutes, they started to create chances or something. But I mean, saying that United lost to a 10 man, Arsenal was close to lose to a 10 man too. So Not a great game, and Chelsea with 11 players probably would win this game, I would guess. Um, I don't know, maybe being 10 men helped them, I don't know, but Arsenal didn't show up the fool they should have. Going to Bundesliga, Hamburg defeated Stuttgart, a loss for a European competitor, Stuttgart, and Frankfurt make it draw. Frankfurt could go to higher places if they won. They made it draw 1-1 against Wolfsburg. Going to La Liga, Villarreal won 3-2 against Sociedad, very close game. Sociedad was 2-0 down, made it 2-2, and in the 95 minutes Villarreal scored, and they are in the third place right now, pretty good place, and interesting for them. They are in the competition even for the top team, to be the top team. They're only 2 points behind Barca, 1 point from Real Madrid, who made the draw last night, and 1 point above Atletico Madrid. So 4 team only 1 point between them each, and super interesting to see the top of the La Liga. Atletico Madrid coming back to it is also pretty amazing. They were far behind. Betis defeated Sevilla in a derby at home. They were better at home of Sevilla. Betis was better, easy win, and Sevilla is struggling badly like last season. Real Madrid Girona 1-1 in kind of embarrassing. They had a lot of shots, but not great chances. It was a penalty for Mbappe. He scored. Girona scored a beautiful goal, but penalty that Vini got. Of course, before that, Mbappe scored a goal that was handball because it touches his hand, and Vini scored the offside goal. But in total, they're in trouble. Not being able to defeat in Girona, they're one of the bottom teams. Like, it's very bad. 3 games in a row in La Liga, they're not having a win, and of course they're playing away a lot because of that NFL match. Their ground is not available, but pretty bad for Real Madrid. Pretty bad for Real Madrid. They can't create super good chances. When they're ahead of the goal, they shoot fancy, like that corner. Like they could just score goals. They're trying to be Hollywood. They're trying to be fancy, and it's not working for them. They're in trouble, and they're trouble deeper than, as I said before, deeper than, oh, we're friends and we're united now and we all play now. They're in trouble, and they need changes. And when a team go defensive in their box, they can't cut through. It's an issue. Manchester United has this issue too, but Manchester United is a horrible team in horrible form, not Real Madrid. But they lost the top to Barca. 1 point behind them is Villarreal, as I said, and 1 point behind Villarreal is Atletico Madrid. So one not win, you say goodbye to the top 3 easily. I think you could Atletico Madrid. I don't know the goal difference, but it can happen. Napoli won the biggest game in Italy, 1-0 against Roma. Højlund made an assist. Easy win for them because Rome didn't create any chances whatsoever in their home. So Milan now stays on top, and Napoli behind. The competition there is also quite intense and interesting. Inter defeated Pisa 2-0, again made it more compact, more interesting. Atalanta defeated Fiorentina 2-0. Atalanta changed for better. Fiorentina didn't change much, and they don't have a win at all. They're horrible. Fiorentina is quite horrible. Atalanta seems better. Of course, defeating Fiorentina doesn't prove anything. League 1, Lens defeated Angers 2-1, and they're on the top of the French league. Crazy. I mean, they got very good results. They defeated all the opponents they should have, and they deserve to be on top. I said before a few times, they're super good this season, and yeah, they got the results. Strasbourg, I think, lost. I didn't write it here, but I remember because they were ahead, but then I checked and they lost. Lille defeated Le Havre, and they're also in the competition for Europe. Lyon 3-0 against Nantes, also in the competition. Eindhoven Feyenoord won. They're competing, but Eindhoven is better situation now. Feyenoord need a win because they had a few losing points moments, so they needed to come back to it. Celtic won. They're, if I'm not wrong, 1 point or 2 points, 2 points behind Hearts, but one game less. So they can get the top. They were 8 points behind this season, so it's a good situation for them after changing the manager. Anderlecht defeated USG in Belgium. They are USG in top, and also won the last year in Belgium. So things got more interesting there. Sporting Porto won also in Portugal and keep their distance from Benfica. Following them, Kashima and Kashiwa also won in Japan yesterday. They have one more game to go and 1 point difference. So Antlers, Kashima Antlers on top, and we should see what will happen. Let's talk about NFL. I watched Panthers against Rams. Panthers defeated. Both teams were quite good, in my opinion. They didn't use their timeouts very good, but beside that, they were quite good. And if the game continues, it could go other way. Like if you gave them 10 more minutes, it could go other anyway. They were super close, but very fun game to watch. It was very enjoyable. Broncos defeated Commanders in overtime. I thought it would be easy for Broncos, but nonetheless they won. Colts got defeated by Texans from the same division. Didn't see that coming, but happened. Steelers lost to Bills with a big difference. Super disappointed to see this result early in the morning. I didn't watch it because it was 3 a.m. or something here. No, it was 1 a.m. to 4, but it was horrible. F1 and the last one. Max won it, Piastri second, and Sainz went to the third for Williams. Sainz and Williams, of course, super happy to get a podium, cheering Max, of course, super happy because he's 12 points behind, and they're going to Abu Dhabi, and he can actually win it. Before this match, it seems like a miracle. It seems not real, but he can actually win it, and I'm in shock for that. But McLaren, the thing is that there was an accident, and then they brought the safety car in. So the best time to change your tires, but McLaren didn't change their tires, and because of that, they lost 25 seconds. Kinda 25, 26 seconds you lose if you don't change or have an extra change. And they did that to their drivers, and super horrible strategy. They said it's for flexibility, but 26 seconds, it's what flexibility? And because of that, they had to cover up so many grounds. Piastri kind of covered, but not enough. Norris became fourth. Horrible situation. And the both drivers were super disappointed, and Max, of course, super happy with his team. Next week, game became insanely more intense. And yeah, that's about that. Hopefully, I see you tomorrow. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and write a comment. I see you tomorrow. Have a good day.